There are pockets of this planet where reality seems to lose its grip, places that should not exist according to every law of physics we understand. Our world is a vast stage of fire and ice, an epic theater where mountain peaks pierce the sky, and the ground can suddenly vanish into an endless abyss. Within these impossible corners, you will find a haunting silence that brings a strange peace, alongside a raw beauty that demands your absolute awe. It is a profound mystery, written in layers of stone and poison, waiting for the curious mind to decipher its secrets. We are moving far beyond the edge of the civilized map to witness the unbelievable. Put your world on hold. The journey begins now. Tanah Barak, Bali, the surgical scar. Deep in Indonesia, there is a road that feels less like a path and more like a surgical incision into the heart of the earth. At Tanah Barak, local engineers bypassed the traditional winding routes and used heavy machinery to split a monolithic limestone hill right down the middle. As you drive through, white walls rise 40 feet high on either side, creating a claustrophobic canyon of stone that glows under the tropical sun. It is a striking monument to human impatience, a statement that we do not negotiate with obstacles, we simply break them. Curiously, 90% of the people who find their way here do not even care about the turquoise ocean waiting at the end. They are there for the scar itself, captured by the sheer audacity of the architecture. Though the name translates to Redland, you will find only blinding shades of white and gold. The path has become far more iconic than the destination, proving that sometimes the wound we leave on the landscape is more captivating than the landscape itself. Yellow Riverstone Forest, China, the graveyard of giants. Tucked away in the arid landscape of the Gansu province lies a sprawling 5-mile labyrinth of sandstone pillars that look like petrified giants reaching for the sky. This is not a place built for the faint of heart, as reaching the inner valley requires navigating 22 hair-raising hairpin turns carved into a steep mountain slope. Once inside, you feel like a mere insect lost in a graveyard of monolithic stone, where every pillar has been weathered into a haunting silhouette that resembles a frozen, screaming face. This geological masterpiece is a silent record of the planet's slow-motion violence, a result of millions of years of tectonic shifts and relentless wind erosion. It is a place where you can truly feel the weight of deep time pressing down on your shoulders. If you stray too far from the trail, the heavy silence of the canyon threatens to swallow you whole. Despite being a forest made entirely of unyielding stone, the shadows move in a way that makes the entire valley feel eerily alive. Cascata dello Stropia, Italy, the ghost of the mountain. High in the Mara Valley of Italy, there is a ghost that appears only when the sun is exactly right. Cascata dello Stropia is the tallest waterfall in the country, yet it is a masterpiece of impermanence, existing only for a few fleeting weeks each year. When the summer heat accelerates the melting of high-altitude snow, the overflow from a glacial lagoon creates a staggering 1,600-foot vertical drop that thunders against the rocks. To stand in its midst is to witness a temporary glitch in the natural order, a spectacular display of power that vanishes the moment the temperatures dip back toward freezing. It serves as a somber reminder that the most breathtaking beauty is often the most fragile. By the time August arrives, the mountain falls silent once again, and the massive torrent disappears as if it never existed. You're left chasing a spirit made of water, standing on a dry ledge where, just a month prior, a river fell directly from the heavens. Kaieteur Falls, Guyana, the thunder of the ancients. Deep within the untamed heart of the Amazon lies a thunderous secret that very few humans will ever witness in person. Kaieteur Falls is not merely a waterfall, it is a primal force of nature, standing as the largest single-drop cascade on the entire planet by volume of water. To reach this isolated plateau, you must fly over an endless, undulating carpet of green, eventually landing on a narrow dirt strip where the air feels heavy with ancient moisture. Standing at the edge of the precipice, the roar of the water does not just hit your ears. It vibrates deep within your bone marrow. This is a rare glimpse into a world as it existed long before humanity began to reshape the earth to its own will. In the constant, heavy spray of the falls, a delicate micro-world thrives, home to carnivorous plants and tiny golden rocket frogs that spend their entire lives tucked inside the leaves of a single giant bromeliad. It is a staggering reality that while thousands of people flock to climb Mount Everest, only about 8,000 souls stand at this rim each year. This curtain of water is twice as high as Victoria Falls, yet it spends most of its life crashing into the abyss with absolutely no one there to hear it. Lake Baikal, Russia, the Indigo Abyss. In the frozen reaches of southern Siberia, there exists a body of water so ancient that it has watched the continent shift for over 25 million years. Lake Baikal is a geological masterpiece, a massive rift valley holding 20% of all the unfrozen fresh water on our planet. During the brutal winter months, the surface transforms into a sheet of transparent armor, so impossibly clear that you can stare 130 feet straight down into the indigo depths. Walking across it feels like balancing on a fragile pane of glass over a bottomless black void that threatens to pull you into the unknown. Baikal serves as the biological memory bank of the Earth, sheltering over 1,000 species that have evolved in total isolation from the rest of the world. As you trek across the frozen expanse, the ice begins to sing, emitting deep, resonant groans and cracking sounds as it expands and contracts under your feet. Beneath the soles of your boots, massive circles of methane gas are trapped within the frozen layers. Millions of ticking time bombs waiting for a spring thaw or a single stray spark to set the surface ablaze. Laguna Verde, Bolivia, the turquoise deception. High upon the desolate altiplano of Bolivia, nature has crafted a landscape that looks like a beautiful dream, but breathes like a lethal nightmare. Laguna Verde is a shimmering turquoise jewel, but its stunning color is a toxic deception born from a concentrated mixture of arsenic, lead, and magnesium. In this thin, oxygen-starved air, the wind cuts across the skin like a serrated knife. Yet the lake remains a liquid mirror even when temperatures drop dozens of degrees below zero. This phenomenon occurs because the heavy mineral load acts as a natural antifreeze, preventing the water from ever turning into solid ice. It is a masterpiece of chemistry that seems to loathe the very idea of life, a dead sea perched among the clouds where almost nothing can survive. The most unsettling part of this place is that its vibrant green hue is entirely dependent on the violence of the environment. When the air is still, the lake turns a dull, lifeless gray, revealing its true nature as a stagnant vat of chemical sediment. The brilliant turquoise only returns when the gale-force winds are strong enough to stir the toxic poison back to the surface. Yellow River, China, the moving landmass. Imagine a river that behaves less like a body of water and more like a moving landmass. The Yellow River in China carries a geological burden so heavy that it has earned the reputation of being the most sediment-rich waterway on the planet. Within every single cubic meter of its churning current, there are 75 pounds of silt, making the water so dense and opaque that it feels like liquid earth. Historically, it is known as the Sorrow of the Chinese, a title earned through catastrophic floods that have claimed millions of lives over the centuries. When you stand at the delta in the Shandong province, you witness a surreal, sharp boundary where this golden sludge meets the green waters of the sea, refusing to blend for miles offshore. It is a literal river made of ground-up mountains, slowly reclaiming the ocean inch by agonizing inch and creating dozens of square miles of new land every year. In several regions, the sediment has built up so much that the riverbed is actually higher than the cities surrounding it, making it a liquid mountain suspended above the population. It is a ticking clock of geography that could collapse the moment nature decides to change its course. The Amazon River, South America, the unbridged frontier. Crossing the Amazon is not about driving, it is about surrendering to a massive arterial system that refuses to be tamed by human engineering. Flowing through 9 South American nations, this titan discharges 20% of the world's fresh water into the Atlantic Ocean every single second. Despite its staggering scale, there is not a single bridge spanning its main channel, leaving the pulse of transportation entirely to boats and ancient ferries. This river was born when the Andes Mountains rose, forcing an ancient sea to reverse its flow and carve a path through the dense jungle. During the flood season, the experience is otherworldly, as you can find yourself kayaking through the canopy of 100-foot trees, while the forest floor disappears beneath 30 feet of water. It remains the last true frontier where the environment dictates the terms of human survival, offering no apologies for its immense power. Beneath the turbid surface hide electric eels capable of discharging 860 volts, which is more than enough to stun a grown man instantly. Scientists believe the river is so deep and complex that there is essentially a second, unexplored ocean of biodiversity hidden under the dark, swirling water. Pitch, Lake, Trinidad, the spongy time capsule. There is a lake in Trinidad where you do not go to swim. Instead, you walk on the dark, spongy skin of the Earth's deep history. Pitch Lake is the largest natural asphalt deposit in existence, a bubbling expanse of gray-black sludge that feels like a living, breathing organism. Formed by ancient oil being pushed toward the surface and losing its lighter gases, this 250-foot deep basin acts as a relentless and patient time capsule. The thick surface is known for pulling tree branches, fossils, and man-made objects down into its depths, only to push them back to the surface nearly intact decades or even centuries later. Large bubbles of hydrocarbon and hydrogen sulfide gas continuously rise and burst across the lake, producing an eerie, rhythmic hissing sound that vibrates through the humid air. It is a place where the past refuses to stay buried, constantly churning and rearranging itself in a slow-motion dance of decay. Much of the pavement on the famous roads of London and New York was sourced directly from this strange, prehistoric pit. While you can walk across its surface, you must never stand still for too long, or the lake will begin to claim you just as it claimed the prehistoric giants of the ancient world. Mount Etna, Italy, the Smoking Garden. Rising from the Mediterranean island of Sicily, Mount Etna is not just a volcano, but a 500,000-year-old engine of geological destruction that occasionally surprises the world by blowing perfect, white smoke rings into the atmosphere. This massive stratovolcano is a paradoxical garden built on top of a ticking bomb, where the soil is so enriched by volcanic ash that it produces some of the most distinctive and highly prized wines on the planet. During the winter, thrill seekers can actually ski down slopes covered in black ash and pumice, while the ground beneath their feet literally rumbles with the heartbeat of the mountain. In a bizarre twist of nature, millions of ladybugs migrate to the summit every summer, seeking shelter among the warm, jagged rocks near the active craters. It seems that while humans flee the eruptions, these tiny insects are the only ones who are not afraid of the fire. The mountain remains a constant reminder of the thin line between fertile abundance and total annihilation, where life clings to the edge of an erupting furnace. Boiling Lake, Dominica, the Earth's cauldron. To reach the boiling lake, in Dominica, you must undertake a grueling 6-mile trek through a landscape that feels like an expedition to another planet, where the very air is made of thick, sulfurous steam. This flooded fumarole is essentially a giant cauldron where groundwater seeps down and makes direct contact with a superheated magma chamber, resulting in a permanent, violent rolling boil. At the edge of the lake, temperatures hover around 198 degrees Fahrenheit, but the center is so intensely turbulent that no precise measurement has ever been successfully recorded. This site is a visceral reminder of the massive furnace burning just a few miles beneath your hiking boots, a place where the earth is literally venting its internal pressure. The water itself is a cloudy, ghostly shade of gray-blue caused by the high concentration of dissolved minerals, creating a toxic environment where nothing can survive. Even before you see the steam rising, you can hear the deep, rhythmic roar of the boiling water from over a mile away. It is a terrifying, beautiful display of planetary energy that reminds us we are standing on a very thin crust. Death Valley, USA, the sound of the sun. Death Valley is the ultimate furnace of North America, a salt-crusted basin that sits below sea level and acts as a sun-scorched graveyard for anything that cannot adapt to the extreme. The heat here can reach 130 degrees Fahrenheit, a temperature that feels like an industrial hairdryer being held directly against your eyeballs until the moisture vanishes from your skin. Despite being the driest place on the continent, the valley is alive with mysteries that defy explanation, such as the sailing stones of racetrack playa that slide across the dry lakebed and leave long tracks behind them. In the massive dunes, the friction between dry sand grains produces a low, resonant sound known as booming sand, which echoes across the landscape like the pipes of a ghostly organ. It is a landscape so hostile that it makes the very existence of life feel like a beautiful accident. Throughout history, gold and silver rushes built thriving towns in these hills. But the desert proved to be a hungry god that ate those settlements in less than a decade. The stones continue to move through the silence, but curiously, they only do so when no human eye is watching. Lake Superior, North America. The liquid refrigerator. Lake Superior is far more than just a body of water. It is a freshwater ocean that has spent the last 10,000 years carving its way through the rugged heart of North America. This inland sea contains 10% of all the fresh surface water on the planet, and it is so vast and deep that it behaves with the cold indifference of a real ocean. It is famous for a phenomenon known as a seiche, where atmospheric pressure changes cause the water to oscillate, making the tide suddenly retreat on one shore only to surge dangerously on another. Because the lake is a lagotrophic with very few nutrients, the water is exceptionally clear, allowing you to see through the emerald depths for over 65 feet. However, this clarity is a mask for a terrifying liquid refrigerator that is too cold to support the bacteria that cause bodies to rise to the surface. It is a place that is too large to be a lake and far too cold to be friendly to the living. The water is so chilling that it preserves shipwrecks and the sailors within them in a state of perfect suspension for centuries, ensuring that the lake never truly gives up its dead. Mawsynram, India, the kingdom of the clouds. In the hills of Meghalaya, India, you do not check the weather, you survive it. Mawsynram is the wettest place on Earth, where the monsoon winds are trapped against a massive plateau and dump 467 inches of rain annually. Here, humidity is a permanent 100%, and low-hanging clouds often drift through open windows and into residential spaces as if they were uninvited guests. To stay dry, residents wear the noop, a dome-shaped shield woven from bamboo and banana leaves that leaves both hands free for labor during heavy downpours. In this environment, adaptation is not a choice. It is the only way to keep your body and home from rotting away in the perpetual damp. The community has even learned to cultivate living bridges by guiding the roots of trees across swollen streams, creating natural structures that thrive in the moisture, while wood and steel would simply disintegrate. In Mawsynram, the clouds are your roommates and the land is more fluid than solid. Skeleton Coast, Namibia, the ocean's graveyard. On the Atlantic edge of Namibia, the world's oldest desert collides with a cold, violent ocean to create a haunting landscape known as the Skeleton Coast. It earned its name from the bleached whale and seal bones that litter the sand, alongside the rusted skeletons of over 1,000 shipwrecks scattered along the shore. The dense fog and hidden reefs have turned this shoreline into a literal graveyard where the desert is slowly burying the failures of the ocean. It is one of the few places on the planet where you might witness a desert lion stalking a fur seal through a blinding white mist. Because the powerful winds are constantly reshaping the dunes and pushing the sand inland, many vessels that sank offshore over 100 years ago are now found hundreds of yards into the dry desert. The sand is moving and the sea is retreating, leaving behind a shoreline of rust and bone that feels like the end of the world. Mount Aconcagua, Argentina, the frozen monks. Rising nearly 23,000 feet into the thin air of the Andes, Mount Aconcagua is the highest point in both the western and southern hemispheres. It is a vertical desert where the only permanent resident is a relentless, freezing wind that scours the jagged rock. The slopes are often covered in penitentes, mysterious ice spikes that can grow several feet tall and resemble rows of robed monks bowing toward the sun. At this extreme altitude, the air is 40% thinner than at sea level, making every breath a desperate struggle for oxygen. This mountain was an ancient Inca ritual site, a place where the barrier between the human and the divine was thought to be at its thinnest. Evidence of this spiritual past was discovered when researchers found a 500-year-old child mummy perfectly preserved in the ice at 17,400 feet. The mountain preserves everything, including our ancient sacrifices, and it serves as a silent tomb for those who underestimate its power. Mount Denali, USA, the monarch of the north. Deep in the Alaskan wilderness, Mount Denali stands as the absolute monarch of the north, a massive block of granite pushed toward the heavens by the crushing force of tectonic plates. Because of its extreme northern latitude, it is often colder than Everest, with wind chill temperatures frequently dropping to negative 117 degrees Fahrenheit. During the summer, the midnight sun provides 24 hours of continuous daylight, a phenomenon that can cause climbers to lose their minds before they even lose their breath. Denali is so massive that it generates its own localized weather patterns, shielding its peak in a veil of lethal storms. It is a place of profound, haunting beauty that remains utterly indifferent to human ambition or suffering. If you die on these slopes, the chances are very high that you will stay there forever, as the mountain simply does not negotiate with rescue helicopters. At the summit, you are truly on your own, standing in a realm where life was never meant to take root. Nanga Parbat, Pakistan, the naked nightmare. In the jagged crown of the Himalayas, Nanga Parbat stands as a terrifying wall of dark rock and ice that locals simply call the Naked Mountain. Its southern Rupal face is a sheer 15,000-foot vertical rise, which is so steep that snow cannot even cling to its surface. This mountain is a monument to human hubris, first conquered in 1953 by a man who pushed to the summit alone and without supplemental oxygen. To stand at its base is to feel utterly insignificant before a geological nightmare that refuses to be tamed. Yet, directly below these lethal slopes lies a pine-scented plateau called Fairy Meadows, a landscape so serene it looks like a dream. It is a cruel irony that such a peaceful meadow sits in the eternal shadow of a peak that has claimed so many lives. Annapurna, Nepal, the harvest of souls. Annapurna is a beautiful white-shrouded goddess that carries a dark, statistical secret. 1 out of every 3 climbers who attempt to reach her summit will never return home. Formed by the titanic collision of India into the Eurasian continent, this massive peak maintains a terrifying fatality rate of 32%. The experience of climbing here is one of constant, grinding fear, where spontaneous avalanches the size of entire city blocks can tumble down from hanging glaciers at any moment. While her name in Sanskrit means the goddess of harvest, she is more famous for harvesting the lives of the world's elite mountaineers. It was the very first peak over 8,000 meters ever to be climbed by humans. We knew from the beginning that she was a killer, and yet we went anyway, proving that the siren call of the summit is often stronger than the instinct for self-preservation. Karakum Desert, Turkmenistan, the gates of hell. Deep within the vast sands of Turkmenistan lies an accidental portal to the underworld known as the gates of hell. This burning gas crater was created in 1971 when Soviet engineers accidentally collapsed a cavern and lit it on fire to stop the spread of poisonous gas. They expected it to burn out in a few weeks, but it has been roaring for over 50 years, with internal temperatures reaching 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Standing at the glowing orange edge at night feels like staring into the literal throat of the planet as the heat waves distort the air around you. It is a man-made scar that has become a permanent geological feature, a self-sustaining barbecue of the Earth's inner energy. Strangely, thousands of spiders are attracted to the hellish light and are frequently seen crawling directly into the flames. It is a haunting sight that turns an industrial blunder into a hypnotic, nocturnal ritual of fire. Lop Nur, China, the ear of the silence. Lop Nur is a place where the natural salt flats of the earth meet the most violent inventions of man. Known as the ear of the earth because of its strange concentric rings visible from space, this dried lake bed was the site of 45 nuclear tests between 1964 and 1996. Summer ground temperatures here can reach a blistering 158 degrees Fahrenheit, making it the driest and most desolate region in all of Eurasia. It is a vast, shimmering landscape where not a single blade of grass can grow, and the air feels heavy with the silence of the abandoned. Despite this radioactive and sun-scorched history, the wild camels of the region have done the impossible. They have adapted to survive by drinking brackish salt water that would easily kill any human. It is an alien world on our own planet, where life persists in a place that science says should be dead. Yamal Peninsula, Russia, the end of the world. In the tundra of Arctic Siberia lies the Yamal Peninsula, a name that literally translates to the end of the world. Here the ground is a thick layer of permafrost that has acted as a natural freezer for over 40,000 years, preserving prehistoric mammoths so perfectly that they still possess hair and blood. Today, it is a land of jarring contrasts, where 300,000 reindeer migrate alongside massive industrial gas fields that fuel half of Europe. You might witness a Nenets nomad checking his smartphone inside a traditional reindeer skin tent, while the temperature outside screams at -40 degrees. This is a profound collision between the Stone Age and the Space Age, occurring on a landscape that is beginning to fight back. As the permafrost melts, massive pockets of methane are being released, causing the ground to literally explode in giant craters. Scientists call it a unique geological phenomenon, but to the locals it feels as though the Earth itself is finally burping after a long, icy slumber. Yakutsk, Russia, the urban freezer. Yakutsk is a city that should not exist, a sprawl of concrete built directly on top of Siberian permafrost to exploit the riches of diamonds and gold hidden beneath. In this urban freezer, -50 degrees is considered just a chilly Tuesday, and the rules of physics are rewritten by the cold. If you do not keep your car engine running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the oil will turn to jelly and the machine will become a permanent block of ice. Residents survive on shavings of frozen horse meat and raw fish because vegetables cannot grow in a land where fruit freezes into solid rock. It is a living experiment proving that humans will inhabit almost any nightmare if the paycheck is large enough to justify the suffering. Be warned, wearing metal glasses here is a dangerous mistake, as they will freeze to your face and rip your skin off the moment you try to remove them. Your very breath becomes a sound here, as the moisture freezes instantly into tiny crystals that tinkle as they fall, a phenomenon the locals call the whisper of stars. South Pole Station, Antarctica, the isolated outpost. The Amundsen-Scott South Pole Station is perhaps the most isolated human outpost on the planet, standing in a place more difficult to reach than the International Space Station during the winter months. The facility rests on an enormous ice sheet that is constantly shifting, moving about 33 feet every single year. For 6 months, the sun never rises, leaving the crew in total darkness, with temperatures plummeting to a bone-crushing negative 117 degrees Fahrenheit. Personnel live with the haunting knowledge that from February to October, no aircraft can land or depart, leaving them entirely alone in a frozen void. It is the ultimate laboratory for human psychology, testing how the mind holds together when trapped in an artificial bubble surrounded by a lethal wilderness. Because the ice is always on the move, the geographic South Pole marker must be recalculated and physically relocated every January 1st. In this strange corner of the map, time itself is a hallucination, as every time zone on Earth converges into a single, solitary point. Amur Bay, Russia, the Glass Highway. Outside the port city of Vladivostok, the sea does something terrifying. It turns into a highway. In the depths of winter, Amur Bay freezes into a sheet of ice so stable and thick that semi-trucks can drive directly across the waves for months. The brutal Siberian winds sweep the surface clean of snow, revealing a dark, transparent ice that allows you to see the black waters churning beneath your tires. The experience is a sensory overload, where the rhythmic boom of the ice cracking under the weight of your vehicle sounds like distant cannon fire. For the locals, this is a place of recreation, where they cut holes in the frozen crust to swim in the sub-zero water, a practice that blurs the line between health and madness. It is a surreal transformation where the ocean becomes a fragile bridge, but the bridge is always listening to the tide. are essentially driving on top of a 12-mile-long seasonal event that is destined to vanish. If the wind shifts or the temperature rises just a few degrees, the entire road can disintegrate into the sea in a matter of hours. Bering Strait, Russia/USA, the mirror of time. The Bering Strait is a narrow gateway of gray churning water that separates the massive landmasses of North America and Asia. Here, two small islands, known as Big Diomede and Little Diomede, sit only 2.5 miles apart, yet they are separated by a staggering 21 hours of local time. This is the home of the International Dateline, a place where you can stand on an American shoreline and literally look across the water at tomorrow in Russia. It is a geographic reminder that time is nothing more than a human invention designed to make sense of a chaotic world. During the deepest part of winter, an ice bridge sometimes forms between the two islands, technically making it possible to walk from one superpower to another. However, the strait is notorious for sudden, violent storms and fog so thick it can wipe out the horizon in seconds. You could attempt to walk into the future, but the blinding mist is so disorienting that you might feel as though you have stepped into a different century entirely. The cold here is the only thing that remains constant, a silent judge of those who dare to cross the line. Gardarby, A64, Iceland, the rusting cadaver. Resting on a remote pebble beach in the West Fjords of Iceland is the Gardarby A64, a massive orange skeleton that looks like the rusted cadaver of a prehistoric whale. Launched in 1912, this was the oldest steel vessel in the country, serving the fishing industry for 69 years before it was intentionally run aground in 1981. Touching the cold pitted metal, you can hear the Arctic wind howl through the empty hull as if the ship is still trying to communicate with a sea that no longer wants it. It stands as a lonely monument to an era when machines were engineered to outlive their masters, a silent witness to a century of Atlantic storms. You are strictly forbidden from stepping inside because the structural integrity is so compromised that the rust is essentially the only thing holding the metal plates together, making it a ghost that refuses to sink. Abandoned town, Kazakhstan, the silence of the steppe. Across the vast and empty steppe of Central Asia, there is a city where 10,000 voices suddenly went silent. This abandoned military settlement was once a key piece of Soviet defense, only to be discarded overnight when the Union collapsed in the early 1990s. Today, rows of identical 5-story concrete blocks stand without a single pane of glass, creating a skeletal skyline that stretches into the horizon for miles. Inside, You might find a wolf or a feral horse wandering through a former kindergarten classroom, where the chalkboards are still stained with the dust of lessons from 30 years ago. It is a chilling glimpse into a post-human reality where the concept of human progress simply stopped and walked away. Every item of value was stripped by looters within days of the evacuation, and now the entire complex has become nothing more than a concrete forest for nomadic birds of prey. Guatemala City Sinkhole, Guatemala, the urban void. In the middle of a densely populated residential district in Guatemala City, the Earth simply decided to delete an entire intersection. In 2010, a perfect 60-foot wide cylindrical abyss opened up without warning, dropping 300 feet straight down into the pitch-black darkness. Unlike a natural sinkhole formed by slow erosion over centuries, this was a sudden catastrophe caused by a volcanic eruption followed by a massive tropical storm that liquefied the underlying layers of ash and pumice. Peering over the vertical edge feels like staring into a massive pipe that leads directly to the core of the planet, a terrifying reminder that our urban foundations are often built on nothing more than luck. Geologically, this event is not even considered a true sinkhole, but a piping feature, which is a phenomenon that is far cleaner, deeper, and significantly more terrifying than a standard collapse. Mir, Russia, the Diamond Abyss. The Mir mine in Siberia is a wound in the earth so massive that it has developed its own gravitational personality. This 1,700-foot deep pit was once the throbbing heart of the Soviet Diamond Empire, a place where men tore the ground apart to find stones for the world's elite. Today, it stands as a colossal vacuum in the middle of the tundra, where the descent is so extreme that heavy trucks require more than 2.5 hours just to spiral from the floor back to the surface. Standing on the edge of the nearby town, you realize the apartment buildings are clinging to the lip of a void that is slowly, geologically, claiming the land back. We dug this hole in a fever of greed for shiny rocks, and now the hole effectively owns the town that built it. Airspace over the mine is strictly closed because the downward air currents are powerful enough to pull helicopters directly into the abyss, leaving a silent vacuum where the wind itself seems to vanish. Norilsk, Russia, the industrial night. Beyond the Arctic Circle sits Norilsk, a city of black snow and red rivers where industrial ambition has turned the landscape into a technicolor nightmare. Originally constructed by Gulag prisoners to harvest nickel and palladium, this isolated outpost is now responsible for 1% of the entire planet's sulfur dioxide emissions. Walking through 45 days of total polar night, the only light you see is the haunting orange glow of smelters reflecting off a sky choked with chemical haze. The experience of breathing this air is a visceral look at the high environmental price of the batteries and electronics we carry in our pockets every day. It is a city that survives on the edge of the world, trading human health for global progress. There are no trees for 20 miles in any direction because the acid rain has effectively scrubbed the earth of life. And the people here live with the knowledge that their life expectancy is 10 years shorter than the rest of the country. Chernobyl, Ukraine, the ghost of the atom. The Chernobyl Exclusion Zone is a 1,000 square mile museum dedicated to the night the world changed in 1986. In the infamous Red Forest, the trees died from the blast of radiation but refused to rot for decades because the very bacteria and insects required for decay were also eliminated by the poison. Standing in the Pripyat amusement park, you see a yellow Ferris wheel that hasn't moved in 37 years, a frozen symbol of lives interrupted by an invisible fire. It is a haunting paradox where our greatest technological failure has evolved into nature's most thriving sanctuary, proving that the world can heal itself once humans are removed from the equation. Be careful where you walk, because the moss beneath your boots is thousands of times more radioactive than the air, and a single step into the wrong patch of soil means you are taking the poison home on your clothes. Laki Craters, Iceland. The Fissure of Fate. Slicing across the southern highlands of Iceland is a 15-mile scar consisting of 130 volcanic craters known as Laki. This fissure system produced the largest volume of lava in recorded human history during the eruption of 1783, an event so catastrophic it killed 25% of the island's population. The resulting famine and climate shift were so widespread that they even helped spark the French Revolution, proving that one bad day in Iceland can literally starve the entire world and topple empires. Today you can stand on a soft, silent carpet of bright green moss that hides a landscape of absolute mass destruction, a peaceful mask over a violent and bloody history. The volcanic haze was once so thick that ships could not even leave port in England, reminding us that we are always just one major eruption away from falling back into the Dark Ages. We have just moved through 33 of the most defiant corners of our planet, witnessing landscapes that seem more like fever dreams than reality. From the haunting glow of an eternal gas fire to the silent, frozen whispers of the Siberian tundra, we have looked into the eyes of a world that does not seek our approval. It is a humbling reminder that while we build our cities and pave our roads, we remain merely temporary tenants on a restless earth. We have not conquered these places. We have only learned how to hide from their raw, indifferent power. These extremes prove that the human spirit is resilient, but nature is the ultimate authority. The map still holds many secrets, and the horizon is farther than we think. The wild is still out there, waiting for the curious to find it.